2026 offseason recap of the Atlanta Hawks. Like, comment, and subscribe. It'll help out the channel a ton. So let's break down and discuss what needed to be done this year and what we were looking at. So we'll basically have ourselves a little discussion on the moves that they made, why they did it, and what this depth chart could look like now that the regular season is a few months away. Training camp has to happen. So to me, first off, there's been a bunch of additions, especially in the backcourt. I think when you look at this roster, I would still have Na in the starting lineup. And that also then makes you think, do you have Lou Dort start and you have CJ come off the bench, or do you start CJ and have Na come as your sixth man? Because then that would put Lou Dort into a position to be able to be, a great perimeter defense with Dyson himself, Jalen Johnson, Onyeka. Then you have Na come off the bench. Wiggins can defend. So can Flemings, Devin Carter if he plays, Zuby, Asa Noel. Like, they've got guys who can defend right here. And if you weren't following what the Hawks needed to do this offseason, for them, this was a team that, in my opinion, they went 46-36 last year. They were 11th in the NBA, had a plus 2.2 net rating. They extended Quinn Snyder. This is a playoff team before the year ended, and they had elite ball movement and pace. I think they went, by the end of the year, they were an above average offense. For most of the year, they were an average offense, a middling defense. They were kind of soft on the glass. They had 30 assists per game, 69 assist rate, top of the league, 102.5 pace, which is one of the fastest last year. 115 offensive rating, middle of the pack, and 112.9 defensive rating, roughly league average, and a 49.5% rebound rate as a team. And this offseason bet was keep the passing and pace core around Jalen Johnson together, add some shooting, get defense, and really buy in and bet on this two-way wing core. And they have a combining youth movement with some win now certainty that I really like. Look, the headlining moves were Zachary Reshaped out of Dallas. Lou Dort and Aaron Wiggins came in. They got, 2 second-round picks for Wiggins, so you could argue that for Reshaped, they turned him into 2 second-round picks, Lou Dort and Aaron Wiggins. That's not bad. Like, Atlanta swapped the former number 1 pick, who was still developing, for 2 championship rotational wing players off a title team. And that's a team that's trying to make their defense that currently was middle tier to become maybe a defense that could be one of the best in the league, bringing in players that came from a champion-tested roster. I just think moving off of Reshaped was trying to bring in this championship pedigree. Lou Dort, as we mentioned, that point of attack defender, corner 3 spacer, and defensive player of the year caliber guy. Aaron Wiggins is a movement shooter, secondary creator, can try on defense. He fits this pace and space offense, pace and pass, really. Then you got Ryan Nembhard, who is a great undrafted free agent last year. He's a pass first table setter, feeds the league leading assist machine. Kingston Flemings is obviously going to be the guard of the future. Zuby Ejiofor is going to be someone who can guard 4s and 5s, give you some energy, a nonstop motor, and rebounding. And they also brought in Jalen Wilson on a 2-way contract. Henry Vasar is going to be another guy who could be a bargain of a pickup. Extending CJ McCollum keeps that half-court shot creation that they've needed. And he's a veteran in the locker room. And another insurance they kept around was Jock Landale, who was shooting well, looked like he could be a 10-10 guy, and is an underrated defender. To me, look, there's still a chance they could bring back Kuminga, but I don't think they're pressed. Gabe Vincent, Koloku, Tony Bradley are more than likely not coming back. I wonder if Keen Wallace will come back, but McCollum, Dyson Daniels, Lou Dort, Jalen Johnson, Okongwu will be the starting lineup. I think you have your franchise piece in Jalen Johnson. You have 2 depoy candidates in Lou Dort and Dyson Daniels. You got ball movement, pace, transition offense. You added wing defense and shooting. So to me, when you look at the current lineup, first off, it's been, and they brought back Keyshawn Gilbert on a 2-way. They have Ray J. Dennis already on a 2-way. So maybe they do a camp invite for Keen Wallace, but this also shows you how expendable probably Buddy Hield and Co. I think this looks like the solid version. Well, let me move Jock up. But your second unit, Mogi or Moge might have his minutes. Like Asa Noel is probably going to get some more minutes there. But McCollum, Daniels, Dort, Johnson, Okongwu, Devin Carter. Well, maybe you have Corey playing there and Buddy. Corey coming in as a two swingman next to Aaron Wiggins. Then you have Asa and Jock off the bench. And really, once you get to 11, 12, and 13, that could really be Kingston, Devin, and Buddy before you even get to Zuby. So that's not bad. And you still, I assume, you're going to get rid of the cap holds on all the guys that you don't expect to come back. And that might even, and they've already done it to Kuminga. Can they bring, there's no two ways back. So right now for a guy like Keen Wallace, if they were expecting to bring him back because they can't give him another two-way, would have to be a non-guaranteed Exhibit 10, which isn't out of this realm of possibility. I just think when you look at this squad, they're going to have to cut a couple guys already with they've already reached their player limit. And that, again, goes into the guards. So when I look at the guards, I know Mo Gay's on a non-guaranteed, and I think they like him. I could be wrong. If the roster crunch happens, like it is right here, I do think Mo Gay, non-guaranteed. And, man, would they look to dump Hield? Would they buy him out? Or do they just dump Devin Carter? Because that's the biggest thing, is they could just dump Devin Carter if he doesn't impress in camp. I would just really dump Devin Carter if they can't find a Buddy. Like, I wouldn't give up picks to drop Buddy Hield if training camp comes around and they can't. I like Devin Carter, but unless you can buy out Buddy Hield, you're gonna have to end up doing Devin Carter now. Then that ends up giving you a roster that probably looks something along these lines. And I don't think that's wild, where like you end up having your 15-man roster being the guards, lead guard, or just the guard position, Dyson, CJ, Kingston, Ryan Nembhard. And then you have at your wings, Corey Kesper, Aaron Wiggins, Buddy Hield, Lou Dort. You can say Johnson's a forward. Then Noel, Zuby Ejiofor, Henry Basar, Jock Landale, Onyeka Okongwu being a part of that front court, which isn't at all, I think, one to sneeze at. So with that being said, I think there's still some concerns about the rebounding. I think they bring back Landale will help. Also, having Nembhard there will allow you not to worry about how quickly Flemings will be able to play minutes. Is there going to be some concern about the half-court scoring in the clutch? I think that's why he kept CJ. Nas good at that. Aaron Wiggins can. I just think the defense was addressed. They built an identity. And the glass, if you believe in Ejiofor in the front court, I think they did a good job. So let me hear, does the Dort-Wiggins defense and just everything they did this offseason lift Atlanta into top 10 in the NBA? Does the McCollum-Johnson offense enough in the half-court to carry them in the playoffs? And is it worth moving on from Reese Shea this early? Let me hear your thoughts down below.